Hey, good evening, Priya. How are you? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Okay. Hey, good evening, all. It's Friday evening, and as you all warm up for your weekend, and it's 5:30, and you are on the show called Cornerstone, and you're with me from D-Touch team. You're RJ Rudra, and on DC Live. As always, I'm very happy to be on DC Live, where we care, we share, and we are on air. The last time we spoke about being happy, and we also spoke about what could the different types of happiness, right? So that's what we spoke about, and that was during the festive time, the last Friday of September. And I also wanted to, talk to you all a bit about happiness today, and talk a little bit more and extend that. And nothing better than a Friday evening to talk about it. There's no perfect time to speak about being happy. And I'm not limited to being happy at work alone. It's not necessarily only being happy. I'm also talking about being happy at work. That's what I'm talking about. Now, last time when we spoke about pleasure, satisfaction, and joy, correct? So pleasure we spoke as something that results from achieving a goal. It always needs an external stimulation. And joy is the deepest positive emotional experience that one has from within. And that is what we spoke about, that one should ideally focus. I'm going to talk about being happy lets you to attain joy. Okay. And that starts with being involved at work. Why should we be involved at work? If that's what is going to, stress me out, that's what is going to really put pressure on me, how do you think involving in work keeps me happy? Think about it this way. All of us spend a significant portion of our day, of a month, of a year, in fact, our lives in workplace. You're talking about 9 hours at work in a day. That's more than 1/3. And then being involved in it is the most important thing. Shouldn't be this portion of your life be filled with a purpose, connection, and genuine happiness? You all might ask me, in the fast-paced corporate world, it's easy to get caught up in deadlines, targets, endless to-do lists, and we might even forget that at the heart of our every successful team, every innovative project, and every thriving team and company are people. And these people, with their unique perspectives, emotions, aspirations, form the intricate human dynamics that truly weave the workplace together. So, two reasons from these two items that we have spoken. One, you spend a significant amount of time at work. Second, it's the people that you work with. Yes, you have deadlines, you have targets, you have endless to-do lists. But who do you do this for? Have you ever asked yourself, who do you do this for? Your supervisor? Yes. Why does your supervisor have to do this? Because this manager is asking. Okay. Why is that manager asking for this to be done? The client is asking. Now, you look at all of this as entity or people being connected at different points. Do you see the chain that has it? Now, who does the client have to do this for? The client does that for their customers. Now look, let's take any project that you do, any process that you're working in. One common thing across all of this chain is people. You do something and there's a client which delivers it. At the end of it, it is delivered to another human being like us. Has anybody thought about it that way? Has anybody even thought about it that way? Think about it. When the next time you find a tough time, imagine at the end of it, what you start, what you do today is for another human being whom you don't know, whom you're catering to. You possibly don't know if they even know that you did it for them, but at the end of the chain is another human being receiving it. And that is why it is important that you cultivate happiness and involvement in everything that you do. Now, you may ask me, how do we cultivate happiness and involvement? It's not about big celebrations. It's not about grand gestures. Those are definitely ideal, but sometimes it's the small, consistent effort to make that biggest difference. If you understand the chain that I've spoken about, your involvement starts. Be it in a project where you're verifying a loan. Why are you even doing it? You're doing it for another human being at the end who's waiting for that loan to possibly start a new venture, to probably start building a new home, to start building their dream for education, possibly for someone who's, God forbid, for someone who has to recover in a hospital. Possibly they want to gift a heavy priced gift like a two-wheeler, a bike, a cycle, something. So think about what's the reason that could be beyond those files that you process for a verification. Now, maybe you're just annotating that one data somewhere, and that data could be for that piece of the machine to learn how to identify a human being and apply brakes in a automated driverless car, right? Yeah, that's important. Next, when you look at someone, just drafting, organizing a menu for someone, it's a food when someone is really hungry that they're going to order. That's the contribution that you're doing there. Think about the human beyond the files and processing that you process every day in and out. There's a human being. That's where the human involvement starts. Does that give you happiness? Definitely yes. It truly means that you're doing something and you're making a difference in someone's life. This true involvement, and when you derive at a meaning, that gives you a happiness and a sense of being happy at work. People nowadays ask the universe, manifest for things, right? Now, this manifestation that you're doing, that I'm helping a person, is a gratitude that you're giving to your job. You have a job to do, and this isn't stopping at the job. This is weaving someone's life where you don't even know that person's name and where they exist. And that is happiness. That's really is something that helps you get a sense of being involved, sense of being happy, and sense of doing something, and sense of making a difference in someone else's life. Have you ever thought about it this way? I'm going to stop here. We're 10 minutes into this and just ask someone, has anybody thought about it this way? Right? Is there someone who's listening to me? Is there someone who's on the DC live? Probably want to put something on the chat box. Who wants to, let me know? Or Priya, do you want to just talk about your experience? where you've always felt that, you know what, you're making a difference to someone else's life when you're doing something. Have you ever thought about it? Not sure if she's there. Okay, no worries. So now, okay, let me talk starting about happiness, right? So what does it truly mean to be happy at work? Is it the absence of stress? Is it just the absence of stress? No. Stress is part of any dynamic environment. True happiness at work often stems from a sense of meaning. As I said, how do you derive a meaning at what you're doing? And a contribution. It's knowing that your efforts, big or small, are making an impact. It's feeling valued for who you are and what you're being able to do or bring to the table. That is what is happiness. Now, this is what you need to understand, making a bigger impact. However small, you are part of a chain, a delivery chain, but you are making an impact. That's very, very important. Just imagine someone is making a batch of medicines that you take, and for them, it is just a job. But for someone who pops this medicine for a bad headache, for a bad migraine, it's such a sense of relief. But the person who packed this medicine wouldn't have ever thought that this medicine that I'm packing is curing someone else's pain. Has anybody thought about it that way? Probably not, right? That's where your value comes. What do we always run behind is have I packed this the best way? Have I packed this medicine the best way? Have I, put that in the right place? Have I put my reports in? Those are your tasks. But the bigger impact of packing that medicine when someone gets cured is what is the sense of involvement and the happiness that you derive from. Because we all run behind one thing, and it's not wrong, but then we all run behind one thing, which is one key aspect is recognition, right? So all of us want recognition. It's not about your performance reviews. It's not about your monthly performance scores. It's about acknowledging a job well done and a bigger impact. Sometimes you don't need anything big, right? So even if your supervisor says a thank you, a team member says a job done, you're really happy about it. And that is where a recognition and involvement starts from. So as I said, start recognizing the bigger picture. What is the impact you're creating? Secondly, for happiness, start recognizing smaller things that help you be happy and involved at work. Okay. And sometimes involvement goes beyond just showing up and doing your tasks. As I said, it's not about sending your reports on time. It's not about putting things in the way it has to be done. Involvement means being engaged, invested, and feeling like you are an integral part of something bigger. This is what I'm talking about. You are an integral part of something bigger. It's about having a voice, knowing your opinions matter, and being given opportunities to contribute your ideas. So you put all of these together and think about it in a bigger picture, right? So now we all talk about big words, collaborations, and one point from another point. It's not about what the project benefits. Individuals feel more connected, and that is very, very important. And that's what helps you get involved at work, being we all use the word synergy. We all use the word about, how effectively should someone be talking to you? How nicely do you want someone to talk to you? How do you want people to talk to you, and all of that? So that is what we're talking about today. Okay. Right. So let's move on and just see what are the other things that one can do at work. Right. So what are the things that one can do at work? You can, be respectful about others. That's involvement. Listening to other people's views, right? Other person's view. Sorry about it. Are we expressing our thoughts clearly? Are we listening to them clearly? That's very, very important. And those are the things that really helps you in making a better self of you. Now, that's what is growth and development for yourself, correct? That is very, very important. Okay, that's something that's very, very important for yourself. Being open about it, talking, that's something important. Now let's talk about the role of leadership. Leaders are the weavers of workplace fabric. Sometimes we all think that someone has to do this for me. So who's going to bell the cat? Who's going to lead it? For happiness, involvement, you don't need to have a position to make the change. Set the tone. Set the tone yourself. Yes, leaders must empower their team to do things and create pathways for both happiness and involvement. But you feel that you're doing the right thing, you don't have to really have a title, right? And that's where it starts from. Now let's look at something that makes small things, right? I was just talking about small things that make real big moments. Think about those moments when a colleague helped you out of a bind when you really didn't know what to do, or when your team celebrated a major milestone together. They aren't just work events. They are moments of human connection and shared joy that build a stronger, resilient workplace. A simple good morning with a genuine eye contact can set a positive tone for the day. Offering to help a struggling colleague, even if it's not directly your responsibility, strengthens bonds and fosters a sense of collective responsibility. Taking initiatives on a new idea, even if it's small, shows your investment and passion. That's the way of showing your involvement. These are the threads that weave us together. Always believe you don't grow alone. That's a crucial element for both happiness and involvement, growth and development. When you feel stagnant, it's hard to be truly happy or involved. I repeat, when you feel stagnant, it's hard to be truly happy or involved. Growth and development is a crucial element for both happiness and involvement. How do you keep yourself with a growing and developing mindset? It's about learning new skills, taking on new challenges, or even just expanding your understanding of different departments. Reignite passion and keep us engaged. Cornerstone is committed to providing those opportunities because DTouch is something that is always about skilling up, reskilling, learning, and expanding your expertise. Okay. And that's very, very important. As you head into your weekend, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself what makes you happy at work. How can you even become more involved? How can you even contribute to the happiness and involvement of those around you? Remember, we are all the weavers in this incredible, world of togetherness. And then we are the people who build those cornerstone of human dynamics. And every person is someone who builds this thread, and it's very, very vital. Let's continue to weave this workplace and everyone feels valued, connected, and truly happy. And it was really great connecting on a Friday evening with all of you. And that's all I had for this evening. Someone has a question, comment, anything to ask me, anything to tell me? Is there someone who just wants to pass a comment? If none, that's all we had for this show for Cornerstone Weaving Workplace this evening. Thank you for tuning in, people, wherever you were. This is RJ Rudra from DTouch signing off. Remember, I was in DC Live, where we care, we share, and we are on air. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you up on another episode of Cornerstone Weaving Workplace next Friday at 5:30 p.m. Thank you. Bye.